Hello, hello, and welcome to season number 2 de Todo a Todo con Valeria Juarez. Today we have our very first guest, business owner Vanessa Mendoza with us. So I'm so excited to have you here, Vane. Thank you for for accepting the invite. And I want to talk a little bit about Vanessa before we start the interview. So about her, she's a mom of 4, okay, 2 girls, 2 boys, ages 7 to 17. So you know that she's a queen, okay. Former paralegal and of course the owner of Vida Cafe. It originally opened in June of 2024, so she's almost going to be a year in this beautiful location. And if you have not come by, I recommend that you do. They have delicious snacks, coffees, matchas, and it's just an amazing vibe since the moment you walk in until you finish your snack and your espresso or whatever it is you're going to be drinking. So again, thank you so much, Vanessa, for being our sponsor of this episode.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
With this season, I really wanted to highlight the business owners in Brownsville, and I'm super proud of this girl because before I used to know her with the company that I was with. She was one of my customers, and then she became a distributor. And so I always knew that she wanted to be her own boss. And it's just amazing to see her shine the way she is with this business. And so I'm just super proud of you. I wanted you to know that. And I'm always going to support whatever you do because I truly believe you are one of a kind.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you the first question. What motivated you to open Vida Cafe?
So it's a very long reason, right? But I think it started, I was a paralegal for 12 years. And I think that, and I applied to law school. It was very devastating not to get in because I think now, looking back, I felt deserving of it. I felt like it was something that, why not? I know everything. I've been practicing it so long. I should have gotten in, and that's how it kind of felt for me. And it's crazy to feel like we deserve things, right? Because we don't, right? We have to work hard for everything. But that's kind of how I felt, and that's kind of, I just knew that, and it was something like I quit my job. I was like, I'm gonna get in. There's no way coming August, I'm gonna be in law school. Like, I'm gonna take the summer off, and once I get back to, once August starts, I'm gonna start my semester, and I'm gonna be a lawyer. 3 years, and I'm done, and it didn't happen that way. So it was really hard for me to accept that, that I didn't get in, and I think I've always liked coffee shops. I've always gone to coffee shops. I've always supported our coffee shops here in Brownsville. And I feel like it was something that I saw and I was like, I could own a coffee shop. I love it, and I just knew that I wanted more. I didn't want to go back to working at my job, which was great. I loved what I did. I think I still love it and I still miss it all the time. But I didn't want to go back to it. I wanted to work for myself. And I feel like the doors just opened, like I prayed about it. I'm a big believer in God, and I really did pray about this location, specifically this location. We passed by and we called and they're like, oh no, it just got rented. We're like, okay, right? A couple months pass and we see the sign still and we're like, what's happening, right? So we call again, and you're talking about 4 or 5 months later. And they're like, oh, well, it was rented, but they just canceled their lease. And we're like, oh, well, can we go see it? And so I feel like we received so much confirmation after praying about it, because it's something that I've never done. Like, I've never been in this industry. It's, you know, I didn't know as much about coffee as I do now. It was just like a dream and an idea that I was like, oh, so fun, like cute coffee shop, right? And it just became so much more once, you know, we signed our lease, and it's been a fun experience so far.
Well, I just want to congratulate you because it's very brave what you did. I mean, saying no to a a consistent check that you see coming in and just betting on yourself. It takes a lot of courage and bravery. So I'm super proud of you for doing that. And I mean, law school is not easy, girl.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for trying, and I know that if you really want it and if it's in your heart, it's gonna happen. But sometimes life and the journey gets us in different directions, and so it got you here, and I think it's an amazing accomplishment being a business owner and owning your time and working hard, because I think sometimes we romanticize being your own boss and all of that, and once you really do it, it's like, okay, it's not that easy, right? So do you want to share your experience with us, I guess, from being an employee to being a business owner, kind of like how you felt, the process, all of that?
So yes, we definitely romanticize, and I am one to romanticize. I think that that's a problem and a gift that I have, right? I think everything's so cute and so fun, and oh my goodness, I'm gonna serve cute coffees all day, and how hard can it be, right? Even like the logistics of coffee is so much more than I ever thought. I remember going to my first training, coffee training, and it was so hard. I was like, how? Like, they were explaining to me the notes and the seconds and the time and dial in, and it was new. Everything was new. The language was new, and it was just so much, But aside from that, it is so much. I feel like, and I joke about it all the time. I'm like, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7.
Yes,
because my mind
that's what it is.
Is completely going all the time. I'm constantly thinking of ways to make it better, ways to make it nicer, make it cuter, balance, finances with, things that we need to buy, and, things that we need to pay, things that I'd like to buy with things that, okay, we're gonna wait on this right now because we have more important things to do. I think that's been a big challenge, and also like, our finances, receiving money in a different way, because we're so used to receiving money every other Friday. And it's not like that, it's difficult. I think that's been the hardest and most challenging part for me, because I was so used to it. For 12 years, I was a paralegal. Again, I loved my job, but it was very much consistent, and this is not consistent at all.
You definitely see ups, downs, and it's not perfect, even though we do romanticize it. As a business owner myself, that I had a gym, and it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I commend anyone opening a small business, because I know the work and what you have to do to keep it running, and we definitely need everyone's support, right?
Yes.
And definitely it could take a toll if we're not always learning and getting better every single day.
Yeah.
So another question for you: who influenced you to become your own boss? Do you have any family, friends that inspired you or maybe influenced you to go this route?
Yes. So everybody in my husband's side of the family, everybody owns their own business. His mom, his dad, siblings, cousins, everybody. And I really enjoy that lifestyle. Like, I enjoy that you don't have to call in from work. You're the owner of your time. Yes, a business comes with a lot of work, but you can still manage your time so that you can do things that I wasn't able to do in my other job. I wasn't able to go to the zoo with my son like I did this Friday for his field trip. Like, I wasn't able to do those things without using sick time or calling in, or and
or being 1 minute late after lunch,
Yes.
and getting a referral for that. Okay, so there's definitely challenges and things that you said you have learned. So I just wanted to ask you if there's like lessons that you have learned about being a business owner that you want to share. I know you said that you've developed a lot of skills, so if you want to talk about that.
Yes. So like I said, I am a big believer in God, and when that happened to me, when I didn't get into law school, going back to that, I felt later confirmation that God gave me, like, that I needed this, like I needed to live this part of my life as being a business owner, because I needed this in order to become a better person. I don't think that I could have gone through law school and become a lawyer without the skills that I've grown right now, and it's only been a couple of months. I have learned, how to have different relationships with people that I wasn't used to. When you work at a law office, you're dealing with people's problems, and it's a different type of relationship of when somebody comes in for their cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I told somebody earlier, when you go to the doctor, when you go to the lawyer, you're going there because you have a problem. So it is a very different relationship, because you have to be firm, you have to be really, I don't know, like
Find solutions for their problems.
And here it is a very different aspect, and it's something that I've never had. I've never had this skill of like, what can I get you, and what can I give you, and is everything
You
okay?
always had to be like cold because you were dealing with people's problems, and you had to be sharp, and you had to tell them in a in a strict way. And then you're here like owning your coffee shop, and I mean, you told me this.
Yes, and I thought that was gonna be my biggest challenge, honestly, because I remember coming here and saying, like, I think people's perception of me before, knowing me is always like, oh, well, she's, rude, or she's like, and I was like, I'm not that person, and people get to know me and they're like, oh, like, I thought you were different. And I can't even count the number of times that I've had that somebody tell me that. So I was very nervous that was gonna be like, especially somebody that didn't have a background in coffee. This was like, we just
totally new
popped
to you.
up, so that was something that I thought was gonna be really hard for me, but it's actually been great. I've been able to connect with so many people. Some of these people are like friends now. I see them and on the street, and I love the sense of community that people have, and I aspire to be like those people. We had a run this Saturday, and I saw a customer at Marshall's, and she was like, how was your run? Like, how did it go? And I think that that's something that, like, I love. I love that people care. Sometimes, in the beginning when we started here, it was really slow, and you would come in and there was no people, and sometimes those customers come back and they're like, you have a lot of people, like, I'm so happy for you, congratulations, like, wow, like, no, I'm gonna sit in the corner, let these other people enjoy your space, because they really, really like.
Your customers are becoming your friends, right? And the relationships are different.
And the amount of things people share to their barista is crazy, right? Some people, we know everything, Sometimes people come and they have a breakup, and sometimes people come and, they're going on a trip, and, just today I had somebody, like, he went to Paris, and he's like showing me the pictures, and wow, look, I went to Paris, the coffee was amazing,
Oh my God.
The gifts, people come and they bring you gifts, like, hey, I brought you coffee, I went to Austin and I tried this coffee here so you can taste it.
Wow.
Just people are amazing.
Yes, and I know that you're close to the hospital, so a lot of nurses come get their energy here, which is amazing. So that leads to my next question. Where do you see Vida Cafe in the next 2 to 3 years?
Definitely expanding. I would love to open a second location. I would love to make it more like a brunch style.
Yes, please.
Because I feel like people really love, like,
brunch is
our
the new
toast.
thing.
People really love, like, our food items, and that's because we have a very small menu right now because we're still kind of working with it.
Try the avocado toast and the fruit toast. It's amazing.
Yes, so people love it.
Pero quiero más opciones, Vanessa, dame más.
People love it, but it's still very small, right? We're still growing with it, and so definitely our next space is gonna be brunch. I have so many ideas. That's what I love to do when I travel. I love going to brunches. I love going to coffee shops, and I always bring back ideas and stuff.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what I see it. I would love Vida to become like a brand.
Bigger.
I would love it to be something big, and I don't know. It's we talk about vision and stuff, and I see like because of my vision, I've been able to have employees, and those employees are able to do their things, and I'm very grateful like for my vision because I feel like it's going,
Exactly. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God, you guys heard it. They want to expand, so make sure you are a part of the expansion. Come support Vida Cafe. I love it here. You just come in and it's just an amazing feeling. It smells like coffee, okay? The jams are always jamming. And okay, so my last question for you is, what kind of community do you want to build with Vida Cafe?
I love everything, right? We've had events here, and I think a lot of the events are based on things that I love to do, right? And obviously a lot of people like to do because we've had great turnouts. We had a Pilates class here. That was really fun. This past Saturday we had a run club.
Yes,
and that
I
was
saw
so
that.
Fun. We had a DJ. We had
Vendors.
brisket tacos.
Oh my
a
God,
charm
what?
bar.
I missed the brisket tacos.
And it's been so nice to see people enjoying the space. I think that's kind of what we wanted. And in the future, I would love to have book clubs, even Bible studies.
I love that.
Something that's been in my heart to do, and it's,
Wow.
I haven't done it, but yeah.
I love how your face just like lightens and like gets all bright when you talk about your goals. It just means that you really are passionate about what you do. So I'm excited to see where Vida Cafe will go in the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm so proud of you. And I've loved to listen to you and your plans that you have and what excites you about the future. And I'm just super excited for you and grateful that you have collabed with me. We did a reel together, we're doing this interview together, and I know that there will be upcoming events that we will be working on, so I'm super grateful for your relationship with me and for considering me and for being open to this interview. You are my first episode, so I'm really excited. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And hopefully we will come back again in 2 to 3 years to talk about the next vision.
To talk about everything.
Yes, so thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Yay. We'll see you on our next episode. Bye.